Hi friends, welcome back for another shave. Today is the 1st of June and we are using Sterling Triumph today. Scraping things off with my Feather SS and using a bright red brush. I'm going to try face lathering again today because I just got to keep a little variety going here. Keep the guys interested. Interesting, kind of just off the garden path of history. I decided to kind of have the well-beaten, well-trodden path of history that comes right on your history book pages, and these are things that were on there but not necessarily front and center stuff. So we're going to be on the edge of the garden path history for a while, because that's where kind of the interesting moving parts are with this revolution that's starting to brew a little bit. As you know, we've talked about the siege of Boston. The British were stocked up there. They couldn't get too much in the way of supplies into Boston by land, so all things were coming by sea. And then there's another left hand and right hand not necessarily talking to each other while they're still hoping for peace. You got 2,000 more troops showing up in Boston on the 1st of June. And 3 more generals. Now, these 3 generals are going to play a huge role. And you may know their names. They're General Howe, General Burgoyne, and General Clinton. They're coming into Boston. They are kind of hard charging generals, in that they want to put down this revolution quick. Kind of heavy-handed, and they're not paying attention too much to what Parliament's trying to get them to do. And that's probably not a great idea. Like I said, if this had been today, or even in the 1920s, let's say, you could get a letter across the ocean maybe in a day or so. And Parliament could be saying, I don't remember his name, their first names, I just know the last names. Anyway, they would be kind of keeping these generals kind of under a little bit tighter leash. But as it is, and they're used to it, Parliament is used to sending generals to a theater where there's trouble with the empire, because at this point England is all over the world, the biggest navy in the world, best trained army in the world. It's kind of like the United States of the 18th century. They have problems here or there. They send a general with instructions or with an idea of what he's supposed to be doing and turning them loose. In this case, generals may have had a little bit different ideas of what they should be doing than what Parliament really kind of intended. I don't know, because I wasn't there. But there are enough conflicting signals, I'm starting to think that maybe And some of these guys might have gone off the reservation a little bit and been a little bit more heavy-handed on these subjects that were getting upset and not with the English plan or the British plan. Oh, today just a little tidbit was that this is the day supposedly the main reinforcement group, because Boston, they still had full access to the ocean. They had, the Navy was in the bay there. They could get all the troops in they wanted. Just what to do with them once they get here. That's going to be playing out here pretty soon too. I nicked myself a little bit. This blade actually don't know how many shaves is on it, so it reminded me to keep better track, because you know, precious bodily fluids, not something we want to be spilling. I got a neat razor in the mail yesterday that we'll be honing up. I got a Swedish razor. You know, going with the, you know, I have a fascination with Swedish razors. And I got an SSA in the mail yesterday. Nice little razor. Needs a little work. I'll be reworking the edge on that thing. That'll take a couple hours just to... I started cleaning it up yesterday. Set the bevel again this afternoon, and may have it ready for our next shave. I'll have to look and see what history is happening. That'll be on the 3rd. I'm thinking that there's a little civilian action taking place on the 3rd, and keep your eyes on Colonial Williamsburg. That'll be an interesting place to be looking in a couple of days. If you guys are following along in your history books, be looking for something that's going to get the populace a little upset. We'll do that Tuesday. How's that sound? We'll talk about that. Thank you guys for coming. Great shave today. With the exception of a little kink, but you get that. And thank you for allowing me to continue to talk about history. That's one of my little passions. I'm Major Rich. You'll find me at theshavingcodger.com. You might be finding me on my YouTube channel, Safety Cat Studios. They're on YouTube. Leave a like if you like this kind of content. Subscribe if you're so inclined. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.